CarolinaPrepper.com. If you're looking for quality food storage for hiking, fishing, hunting, basic survival needs, or just for everyday use, check out our food storage line at CarolinaPrepper.com. We also carry other fine quality products, such as our can concealment holsters for men and women. Keeping your firearm under cover and within reach puts confidence in your hands in any situation. Our products are 100% American made. Check us out today at CarolinaPrepper.com. Good morning, everyone. How are you on the second day of the brand new year? How are you doing? Good to see everybody. Hey, Harold Jodar, how are you? Israel to launch first autonomous nano satellites to be flown. Wow. Hey, Marianne, Joey, good to see you. Catherine, hello. Savannah, good morning, good morning. I could be wrong, but you could be right, right? How are you? Good morning. Hello, hello. Hey, Donna, good to see you. How's everybody on YouTube as well? Marlene, good to see you. Thank you for inviting your followers. Hello, hello. So, question is today, are you getting caught up in the hype or are you seeking truth? There's a big difference. Good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. Okay, as you're coming in, I'm going to read really quickly a Bible. Yes, the truth. Thank you, Donna. I love to see that. Happy New Year. Been very sick. Oh, no, Marlene, get well quickly. Good morning, Millennial Con. Good morning, good morning. Carrie, hello. How are you? All right, the great day of God, Malachi, chapter 4. For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, and all the proud, yes, all who do wickedly will be stubble. Hey, Jerry, and the day which is coming shall burn them up, says the Lord of hosts. That will leave them neither root nor branch, but to you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go out, and grow fat like stall-fed calves. You shall trample the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. On the day that I do this, says the Lord God of hosts. Remember the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he will turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and strike the earth with a curse. Hey, Robin, good morning. Hope you're well. Happy New Year. Some people came in, I didn't see you. Hey, Chicago Pops, how are you? Good morning. I think I see Cully. Not sure. I think that's Cully. While Bible quote sounds like a calm before the storm. Yeah, could be. Could actually be. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Thank you, Molly. Good to see you. God bless you as well. Tell Hugh I said hello, Gary. Don't know why he's not here. But anyway, so I wanted to, hey, Chris, good to see you. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the rumor that seems to be going around all over the place, and that is regarding what's going on in Gitmo. We've heard so much about Gitmo, and I think, a lot of times we tend to want to sensationalize things, and I'm looking for the truth rather than clicks. So, what are your thoughts about, I'll just ask you first, what are your thoughts about Gitmo? What do you think is going on? If you haven't heard, there are supposedly increased flights going into Gitmo. General Mattis was recently in Gitmo over the holidays telling people Merry Christmas and saying you're doing a great job. And I've done some research and found out that the Arizona National Guard is being sent over to Gitmo. Molly says, I have no idea. Okay. Anybody else with any ideas? Robinson started my new year taking my son to the ER. He had a temperature of 104.2. He's very ill with the flu. Please pray for him. Wow, Robin. Pray for Robin's son. He has the flu. Pray that he gets healed today. A lot of people visiting Gitmo who I don't know. Yeah. Good morning, Sherry. Hello. Well, here's the thing. Bad actors are there along with being placed at Diego. Bless Catherine says, I don't know. No proof. Elites are there that I can find. Yeah, it's Robin's son, Marlene. They're praying for you. Hey, Monique. Haven't heard about Gitmo either. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. A lot of people are saying, wow, it's got to be George Soros. George Soros is over in Gitmo. He's being put there. We haven't heard from George Soros to see him on Twitter in X amount of days. We haven't seen Barack Obama. We haven't seen Michelle Obama in 15 days. Hey, Lee. We haven't seen. Thank you, Molly. Molly's praying for your son, Robin, as well. We haven't seen Podestas. They're not there. We haven't seen them on at all. We haven't seen Bill Clinton, and a lot of people think that those are the people that are being put in Gitmo. Okay, here's what I'm going to say to you, and I'm very serious about this. If it's true that those people are in Gitmo, you'd better be very, very concerned. Because if that's true, then your rights and my rights could be negatively impacted in a very substantial way. Hey, Joseph, good to see you. And even if they're in Gitmo, let's say that turns out to be true, which I highly doubt it, but let's say it turns out to be true. I will be one of the first people that will be protesting the fact that those people are sitting over in Gitmo. Do you understand why? Do you know why I'm talking about this? Yeah, they're American citizens. They're American citizens. Using Gitmo for American citizens is absolutely, in my opinion, unconstitutional unless you can prove that they have somehow been involved in terrorism against the United States. So, that's not good if that's the case. They're not military people, though, Jodar. They're not. They're not in the military. The military can try their own people under military law. Those people are not in the military. And the plane may have been detoured for a reason. I know there's a lot of planes being detoured, being talked about. The one with, I can't remember her name, the model and her husband, the singer. So I just care so little about celebrities anymore. President Trump would not do anything stupid. And one of the things that would be stupid is putting American citizens in Gitmo. They're more than likely charged with treason against our country. I highly doubt that. So far, I haven't seen anything of that nature. I mean, yes, it would be great, but I think even if you had treason against the country, you would have those American citizens in the United States where they could have an ability to have an attorney present. They could be under military arrest. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And if, even if it's Michelle Obama, okay, how would she be involved in treason? Michelle Obama is the one that's missing. Hey, Lori. And Obama himself is gone. But why would you have Michelle Obama? George Soros has been committing, if you want to look at it that way, he's been committing that same crime for 8 years or more. So why now? Here's what I think might likely be happening. And this is just absolutely my guess. This is a guess and an opinion. This is not factual. So therefore, there's nothing that I have, this to base it on. I think that what could possibly be happening is that we're going out there and we are rescuing children from the sex trade, and we are taking those children over to Gitmo to process them over there. We wouldn't want to bring them to the United States necessarily, but we could hold them over there until they were processed. I don't believe we're rounding up American citizens and putting them in Gitmo. Just don't believe that. Yeah, it's a possibility. Like I said, just an opinion, not factual. And what children? Those in the sex trade. There's a lot of children involved in sex trafficking. It's a billion-dollar industry. No, you're not going to ankle. You're not going to ankle bracelet them. But if you have them over there in Gitmo, then agree. I was just kidding about. Oh, I know. I know you were, Chris, but there's a lot of people who are dead serious that that's where those people are. That they're over in Gitmo. And if you're going to be putting American citizens in Gitmo, you're going to have the ACLU after you like nobody's business. And I hate to say this, but I'll stand with the ACLU because I do not want American citizens being put in Gitmo. That's absolutely unconstitutional. I don't know what the boots are. I have no idea what those boots are. I don't know if they're real or whatever. Oh, yes, I will. And unless there's something that they can show me that the reason an American citizens ought to be in Gitmo, then I'm going to be out there saying it's unconstitutional with everybody else. You've got to show me that there's terrorism involved or for some reason. Well, so far I haven't seen something that's treasonous, and we haven't proved anything like that. War crimes? What war crimes? Shauna. I mean, our Congress has known about what former President Obama has done now for how many years? 8 years? If that's true, why didn't the Congress act? Why doesn't the Congress act now? 9/11, Uranium One. I don't think we've done an investigation to know anything more about 9/11 and Uranium One. We haven't done anything, and the DOJ hasn't looked into it. Who's been looking into it? What in the world are we talking about? Sherry, we're talking about the rumor that's going around about American citizens being put in Gitmo for crimes of who knows what. Some people think it's pedophilia. Some people think it's 9/11. Some people think it's Uranium One. You could think anything that you want. I just don't see that happening. Satanic ritual abuse. Well, that's probably not a war crime to be put in Gitmo. I mean, they can be put in prison in the United States. They can be held in prison in the United States. Yeah, well, Savannah, that's just the thing. He's an American citizen, and you can't just be putting people into Gitmo. I do know Q, and I know he's been fairly accurate, but I go with facts. I don't go with what I would like or what I'm hoping. Hey, Gary. You moved over. Monique said, I'm so lost about Gitmo. Hey, Gisette, good to see you. What's Obama doing with gold bullion in Thailand? If that's true, who knows? I'm late. Good morning, Daniel. I know, Savannah. I just think that until we jump on board on something and get all excited, we should have some more factual information. Q has said some things that didn't turn out to be accurate. Not saying he's always wrong or always right. So we have to be very careful. And remember those people who went out there and started talking about Pizzagate and got on board that and just went crazy with it. Alex Jones almost got sued over that. No, get over yourself or whatever. I'm not a snowflake. I just like facts. And I don't like just getting on a hype train because everybody else is getting on a hype train. It's not the point here. Seek truth over hype. And then when we have, if it turns out to be true, whatever. Yeah, so what? CEOs have resigned. Some of them have resigned for sexual misconduct. There are different reasons that they've resigned. So, I don't know what the reasons are. I don't look at that and go, oh, everybody's resigned and now they're all in Gitmo. Or they've all resigned and they're all involved with pedophilia. You can't make that connection. Hey, Marguerite. And if you make that connection, then, without the facts to back it up, it's not good. Hey, my two guys, they won't prosecute Hillary. They are not going to send anyone without a trial, especially Obama. Yep. It's not a conspiracy. Yeah, right. Hey, Amanda. Good morning. Good to see you, Marguerite. So I'm just saying, proceed with caution. If it turns out to be true and there's legitimate reasons for people, if they are in Gitmo, great. Yeah. I don't know why people resign at the days and the times that they've done. Again, I haven't seen a connection. When I see facts connecting it, then I'm going to feel better about it. Have you seen the thousands of new sealed indictments and everything? No, Punch, and I don't think that you have either. But you don't know that. If there were a military trial executive order and all that, you're not going to be seeing that. If you think that what those things that you're seeing are absolutely truthful, then I doubt very seriously they are. I saw one thing that came out, was supposed to be from a court in Nevada, and it had absolutely no indication on there that a court judge had signed it. Hey, Richard, good to see you. Anybody can type up anything, but until you see court seals and, stamps and all that, then nothing got filed. So show me the actual court filing. They're hooking up streaming video from Gitmo. Good, good. Then let's see it. Get over. If that happens, good. Let's see it. I don't think we're going to see streaming video from Gitmo, but okay. Hey, Wendell, good morning. Yeah, Carrie, again, if somebody is coming after the president and they're an American citizen, Gitmo was never made to put American citizens in there. So that's a problem. And if they can put, Obama in Gitmo, they can put you in Gitmo too. Yeah, I mean, again, show me court documents, not only that are stamped and recorded, but show it with a seal on it that shows that it's an authentic document, and then I'm going to take it seriously. Until then, to me, it's a conspiracy theory, and it sounds great, and people, get clicks on it, and people can talk about it and get all excited, but it's not factual. Get over yourself and quit putting words in my mouth. I never said we didn't have a secret military prison. So you wake up. I am just telling you that there's got to be more factual information before I'm going to go and start spinning off to the left and the right. Hey, Susie, thank you for the super hearts. Savannah, just go out and come back in. So I'm just saying, maintain calm until you can get more information. Seek the truth, not just what is clickbait or sounds good to get into a discussion. You have to do a lot of research, Jodar. I mean, a lot. And you've got to find corroborating evidence. You can't just take one person's word for it and go, oh, that's it, let's go. I mean, look at the Seth Rich thing. You have 5 different theories on what happened. One, Seth got murdered. One, Seth knew Hillary. One, Seth is the leaker. And nobody has found really evidence to tie it all together. Everybody talks about it, but nobody's found evidence. Good morning, Susie. And so there's the thing. Find evidence. No, the Democrats are going to take over this year, Doug. Democrats are going to keep losing ground. Hey, Frankie, good to see you. Yeah, get over. That means nothing. You can't. You can tie them. I can make up facts about every single thing that you want to throw out, and there's no proof behind it. Hey, Karen, until you have proof and can link things, or you have enough proof that where you go into a court of law that you can prove something, then you got a case. Well, get over when they have the real authentic documentation, great. Then let's see it. But until then, hey, Lori, until then, it's just speculation. And people should say, when they talk about it, this is just speculation. When you go in and you talk as though this is all truthful and that you have information to back it up, then what you've done, you've gone over from speculation and trying to make people believe that it's truthful. Maybe evidence of Obama, Army planning major bio attack, just throwing ideas out there about Gitmo. Maybe, Carrie, that's really far-fetched, but, people do love the hype rather than the truth. Speculation is true. Speculation is not the truth. Speculation, Marguerite, is speculation. I know military law is different than constitutional law. I get that, get over. Robin said, you're so right. There has to be absolute proof of what's going on before you spread it across the internet. On point 2, nothing beats the facts. That's right. And again, if you want to talk about it and say, this is speculation, this is what I believe, this is my opinion, that's one thing. Okay, Margaret, thanks. But you've got to tell people, this is my opinion, this is my speculation. Not, this is the gospel, let's go, people. Why is the Senate coming back from break at a scheduled time by House asked for additional week? I don't know. Agree, but wouldn't put it past Steve. I wouldn't put it past him either, Carrie. I know, speculation is what the MSM does. That's right, Chris. Democratic takeover is not going to happen. Trump is starting to pull the party together. Yes, Chicago Pops. Geez, everyone is fired up this morning. That's right. I like my information verified. Carmen said. Thank you, Susan. You're welcome. People are making claims that we are holding American citizens to Gitmo without any proof, and Gitmo was never built to hold American criminals there. Correct. That's right, Monique. I was watching C-SPAN 2 on child trafficking. It is awful to think the dark web is allowed. Susie, it is disgusting. I've done research on, like when we have the Super Bowl, you talk about sex trafficking during the Super Bowl is disgusting. Even more disgusting than it always is. Well, they're not talking about it on Fox either. Get over it. Some stations aren't talking about anything at all. They have been renovating Gitmo for a year, and maybe they're just renovating it. It hasn't been renovated in a long time. That many more politicians will not be coming back after the break. Could be. Could absolutely be. Yes, the Super Bowl, Donna. They call up and get children during the Super Bowl. Those disgusting people who go to places like that so they can traffic children, have sex with children. Could be, Shauna. Could be. And I have no idea. But that would certainly be a good place, in my opinion, to keep children that you got from sex trafficking until you could process them and send them back to their country. Because once you bring them into the United States, it's all over. Be so many vacancies in the house, we can all run. And I know it's crazy, Daywolf. Richard, I think what also is crazy, California, our leadership, our Democratic leadership is falling to the wayside because of the fact that we have so many of the Democratic leadership that are being accused of sexual misconduct. So we might get back the majority someday in California because of it. Haven't gone down that rabbit hole. Hurts too much. Yep, I've thought about it. Did you see the California sign? Yes. Loved the sign. Absolutely true. California should be ashamed of itself. It is a sanctuary state. It's not becoming one, Gilroy. It is one. It was sick to learn a lot are from foster homes and group homes. Yes, Susie, when I did my research on that, about at the time, and this was several years ago, there were 5,000 children missing. I won't say what state. From one state of the foster care system. They had no idea where those children were. Nope, it wasn't Photoshop, Lori. It's all over everywhere. There's a guy who's probably doing it. Okay. Wow, Jehovah's Dragon, you're just really disgusting there with your stuff. Yeah, sanctuary and potheads, because now it is legal in California to have recreational pot. Let's see, the sign in California, it says official sanctuary city, felons, illegals, and MS-13 welcome. Democrats need the votes. And what they think it is there's a guy who, I think about a year ago, I know it's difficult sometimes. There was a guy like a year ago that put up signs about, in Malibu, about people needing nannies, and that's why they had illegal aliens there. So they think it's probably the same guy. You'd be scared to live in California? Yeah, some days. Some days. Don't support them anyway. Yeah. But, California, they're going to eventually learn about how that's harming everybody in California, allowing people, that illegals in here, that, yes, there are lots missing from different areas. I mean, basically, these children are farmed out of the foster care system. There's you talk to a lot of parents who've had their kids taken away from them, from the foster care system. And it's frightening. Some have ended up with people who were abused them. There are stories of people that I've spoken to personally, and it would make your head spin. Yeah, the Rose Parade's pretty. Too much sun and fun in California. It's making people dizzy. Well, now the pot's probably going to make people dizzy. Another thing about California, Jack in the Box. I don't know if you want to support Jack in the Box, but they're getting on board with the whole pot thing in California, and now they have a Merry Munchie meal that they're putting out. And they're partnering with the digital media company backed by Snoop Dogg, and the meal is $4.20, and as everybody knows, that's kind of what the people use that are potheads, as they call them. They are. It's going to be consist of 2 tacos, French fries, onion rings, 5 mini churros, 3 chicken strips, and a small drink. So that's there you go. And that there was no mistaking that it wasn't by accident that they priced it at $4.20. I know, sounds healthy. I guess if you're smoking pot and you're high, it doesn't matter, millennial. At least that's what they're hoping. It's going to start out in 3 locations to see how it works. Mary Jane in a box. There you go, Big Al. They probably marketed that to see how that was going to be. Too unhealthy, I know. Well, Jack in the Box just lost my support, so I have no idea where the three stores are. Got grenade more weight put on. Yeah, I know, Richard. I guess they're hoping that nobody will notice. I used to love Jack in the Box, especially the tacos. We heard that yesterday. I know, Susie. Can you believe? Hey, Greg. Good morning. Good to see you. Happy birthday yesterday. The other breaking news, the Dow climbs so far to 120 points. Chick-fil-A in our town. Yeah, we have Chick-fil-A's here, Carrie, which is really good. Yeah, I know, Josette. Just somebody who he was an obvious atheist that came in and just wanted to spout hate this morning and over in YouTube. But he's gone now. Yeah, 120 points. So President Trump continues, with his winning streak and winning for America, which is very good. Now, I don't know if you've been watching, again, what's been going on in Iran. Yep, Evo winning. Winning, I didn't misspeak, winning. Hashtag winning is even better. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, in Iran, the oil and shipping industry, so far, the protests have not impacted them. What's your opinion on digital currency? I personally just don't have anything to do with it. Knocking on 25,000 doors, Cully said. My husband and I were so disgusted Jack in the Box would go down that road. I know, Susie. I'm not surprised. Jack in the Box is trying to compete with McDonald's and other fast food. They're not doing so well, so I guess they had to think of something. It's a blessing that the protesters are fighting for what's right. It is, Godar, and the thing of it is, and the mainstream media is pointing it out, is that the women are leading the way. Again, you have to ask yourself, is that intentional that the mainstream media is spinning it that way, or is it truthful? Just buy tulips, Wayne said. Tiptoe through the tulips. Robin, while in Florida, my mother-in-law was putting down Trump every day. I had to bite my tongue. Oh. Obviously, she doesn't get the news from anything but the mainstream media. Has anyone heard anything about McCain? Nope, not a thing, Bob. Oh my gosh, just read about that. Yep, $4.20. That's right, Shauna. Hey, Rick, good morning. CNN tried to report Iran protests were pro-government. I know. CNN, the New York Times are all making that favorably towards the regime and not exactly what it is. People saying, I've had enough. And economically, they're saying that they've had enough. And that's why they're out there protesting. Now, yesterday, I read, and this was something, I don't know what you think about this, but the Vice President Pence said, vowing that we must not and we will not let them down. He said that as long as Donald Trump is president and I am VP, the United States of America will not repeat the shameful mistake of our past when others stood by and ignored the heroic resistance of the Iranian people as they fought against their brutal regime. The bold and growing resistance of the Iranian people today gives hope and faith to all who struggle for freedom and against tyranny. We must not and we will not let them down. What are your thoughts on that? What does that sound like to you? Are you concerned about hearing that? I have a question for you. This QAnon and Gitmo story, in my opinion, is fake. I just talked about that. I don't know if you missed it. Go back and listen to the replay. We talked a lot about it. So what can America do to help? That's the question, my two guys. Is that Ryan? I think that's Ryan. I remember you. I haven't seen you in a while, Ryan. We're going after them. Well, I don't know what happened to Soros. As far as I've heard, I know there's rumors about him. I have no idea about Soros. He hasn't been heard or seen from in about 30 days. Somebody said he was sick. Other people said he's dead. Other people say he's in Gitmo. I have no idea. I'm wondering if this has to do. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Evo. I'm wondering if this has to do what Mike Pence said, if this has to do with the nuclear deal that's coming up, where we have to sort of recertify that this deal in Iran, the nuclear deal, is a great deal. I heard he had a massive heart attack. I know, Donna, I think I read that somewhere too. But I have no idea what's happened to George Soros. I'm just glad that he's not in the news and not doing anything that I know of, which could mean that he's doing a lot. The deal is over. I'm hoping so, Psycho. And I think that maybe what they're setting it up for. Gary says, Chick-fil-A is awesome. We need more of them. And he hopes that Soros is dead. Gary. Robin, let's see. Oh, okay. If Tehran falls, they have a chance. They are like our coast. The people are poor and the rest. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Ryan. The people are not like their government there in Iran. Could set up with stations to help Iran people communicate. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Would not want to be him on Judgment Day. Yeah, George Soros. No, Richard, I wouldn't either. They're always ones to replace. You know, you have to be careful again. Do we want to be going into countries and doing a regime change? It doesn't work very well. I don't know if that's what President Trump has in mind. I kind of see it as this is a segue into him saying this Iran deal was never a good deal. We should not recertify it. We should end this deal and stop it right now. And he may just do that. Google could turn on communications in Iran. Ryan said, hey, Spencer, good morning. So I kind of see it as a segue into President Trump saying we're getting rid of the deal. What would be his alternate plan? It doesn't really have to be an alternate plan. We can say this is just not a good deal. We're not going to do it. Or let's start negotiations all over again. I don't know. Can't trust the media at all, even Fox News. By the way, look to fake news to get more evil. Yes, Susie, it will. And that's why when you're looking at things in the news, you're going to have to be more discerning. Evo, that nuclear program is already in high gear. It's just not high gear in Iran. Iran right now is in Syria, and they're working with Russia and in North Korea. You think that they've stopped in producing weapons of mass destruction or any other thing? No, I don't think so. They're paying other countries to do it for them. Because guess why? Because we gave them the money. Do you think Uma will face charges? Savannah, if what is being touted in the news is true, she should. And at the very least, the DOJ needs to start immediately and do an investigation. Would I be killed in Syria for being gay? Yeah, probably. The Iranians, from what I understand, the government would certainly kill you. I mean, they've thrown people off the roof. I don't know. Thought Uma got immunity. She could have gotten immunity for testifying. And so if she did, it depends. I mean, if we can prove that immunity was given to her by Peter Strzok and that he was involved in some type of criminal activity, there's a possibility, perhaps, of going forward. And I don't know what he talked to her about. Maybe it was about one thing and not on the other. So, Daily Caller did a story on it. Okay. Probably Doug. I'm going to a Muslim bakery and ask for a gay wedding cake. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't think they're going to make it for you. I think the investigation is in high gear. Let's hope so. And if there is an investigation, they're not going to be telling us there is one. That's for sure. If you could, we're past the halfway mark. If you don't mind retweeting this, that would be great. Hey, Ron, happy Merry Christmas, late Merry Christmas, and good to see you. Happy New Year. You can't tell her anything she has been. Oh, Robin's talking about her mother-in-law. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. The DOJ, even President Trump this morning said the DOJ really needs to start an investigation. Let me just see if I can see what he said. What is it he said? He called on the DOJ to look into Uma Abedin and potential security issues after email dump showed she sent classified info to Weiner's laptop. He talked about jail, exclamation point. She put classified passwords into the hands of foreign agents, President Trump said. Deep State Justice Department must finally act, question mark, also on Comey and others. And also, she's alleged to have forwarded sensitive State Department emails to her personal Yahoo account before that account was hacked. So, we don't know what that FBI Peter Strzok talked to her about. It could be that she's going to be in trouble for other things as well. Hey, Teresa, good morning. The whole Papadopoulos thing. They claim that he was drunk and talked about how they were trying to get dirt on Hillary. If that's all that there was, I don't see a problem with it. And I think if there was something more to it, Ryan, they would already have brought an indictment, specifically on that against him. So I just don't think there's anything there. Robin said she read that this morning. So again, I think that the news is trying anything that they can. The mainstream media is trying anything they can to keep this all in the public eye. And struck as a criminal too, could very well be psycho. Absolutely needs to be investigated. And I think he needs to be investigated along with Andrew McCabe and see if there was something there where they wanted to interfere and obstruct the election, interfere with the election in 2016, because I think there's a lot of obstruction of justice going on and we're not looking in the right place. You're looking at President Trump and the administration when you ought to be looking over here in Mueller's group. McMaster, I don't know. I've always felt that he was a globalist, and he is a general, and he's still a general, so I don't know. I kind of had one eye on him all the time. I think he's a globalist, and that's all I need to know. So more dirty than clean, absolutely. Yeah, it's just you don't know who to trust anymore. You really don't, and it's why I say it's going to take so much more. Why aren't we seeing any arrests? Bob, I don't know. Either we're not doing an investigation. Looks like that there's enough information on them, against them, to arrest them. I don't know. Any truth to Obama compound being raided? I haven't heard anything to make me believe that happened, Darlene. Yes, the globalist is General Kelly stepping down. Susie, there are rumors that he's going to step down early this year. Have no idea. I would hope not. I mean, I don't necessarily like General Kelly. I want to like him. Some days I like him more than others. But I think that he would be good for the president if he stays. They are arresting. It isn't public yet. Could be. Jodar, could be. Yeah, I hope not too, Danielle. I think that he needs to stay and help the president. Yeah, I've heard that there are thousands of sealed indictments. I have no idea, Psycho, what those indictments are, who they're against, and if that's true. Okay, I don't trust anyone in D.C. You shouldn't, Susie. Nunez and Judicial Watch are trying. They are blocking the documents. Well, I wouldn't be surprised about that, Ryan. Mueller needs to go. Mueller needed to go, Donna, before he started his work. There's too many conflicts of interest, and then he put together a team with conflicts of interest and bias that are unbelievable. And if you want to investigate anybody in Uranium One, start looking at Start looking at Mueller. Start looking at Rod Rosenstein. Look at Hillary. Look at Eric Holder. Who else? A bunch of people in Uranium One. And I don't know if anybody's looking at it. I don't know. I have no idea if Hillary was wearing an ankle boot, if that had anything to do with being arrested or or a broken foot, as she said. Well, I don't think, when you're arresting people, you're not worried about their emotional, whether liberals are emotionally stable. I mean, if they're arresting people, you're going to know something about it. Eventually, anyway. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, they need to also investigate, the dossier. That's something I haven't heard that we're doing, and we need to really get into that quickly here. This whole Russian thing was based on a lie. It was. That pesky broken foot. I know. Keeps changing feet. Now we're going to talk about swamp cleaning, and it's only just hit 2018. Lee, it's a bottomless pit. Yeah, I know. Unless you see Mueller step down and we'll keep going on, you will have civil discourse big time. Mueller needs to pack it up himself and say, I'm done, and I finished what I was hired to do. That's what he needs to do. Because Rosenstein's not going to remove him. Nobody's going to remove him. They're going to wait until Mueller says, okay, yeah, we've done all we can do. They're just going to keep expanding his scope. I mean, you heard Rosenstein. He didn't want to admit that he had done that. He talked about clarifications. He's gone way beyond his scope of the Russian interference with the election. Way beyond. And he's not finding anything. $7 million plus of our taxpayer money has been spent to only get one guy for lying to the USA. It's not good for America for Mueller to continue. It isn't. It wasn't good in the beginning. The dossier, McCain, Mueller are involved. Rosenstein is part of this. Yeah, I think that Kramer guy who gave who talked to McCain and delivered that dossier, I think that he can tell us a lot as well. And maybe there's some people connected to that. DACA will fail, no wall, no DACA. I'm hoping that with DACA that we're not talking about amnesty. I'm hoping that we're talking, if anything, resident green card. That DACA worries me. It really does. And I don't know what the Democrats are going to do. They're never going to want that wall. Mueller will try to get his pension. Trump keeps giving him rope. He is hanging himself. Mueller already has a pension. Mueller's retired. Susan, I would like it if we could one day talk about the 50-point manifesto of Hassan al-Banna. I believe it is important for all people to learn about, as well as the OIC and how it affects all. Send me some information on that, Gary. If you could send it to my email at susan@susanknowles.com. No votes, no citizenship. I don't want votes or citizenship. Yeah, Mueller retired as the FBI director, a former FBI director. He doesn't worry about a pension. They just appointed him to do this special job. Nothing's going to happen to him whether he does this job well or not. His pension is secure as a former FBI. Hey, Robin, good to see you. I hope things start moving along soon and we see liberals get what they deserve. So much criminal activity. Even the rhinos who have criminal activity, Robin said. Yeah, we need to see something in 2018. We really do. We need to see people start, a grand jury formed, people are being arrested, people are being brought to justice. I honestly don't know if you'll ever see Obama being brought to justice. Having trying a president, I don't know if that's ever been done, and it would be bad for the country in a lot of people's eyes. I don't know if that's going to happen. And there's a lot of executive privilege. Yeah, I read that too, Susie. Trump will round the whole lot up. That'd be great. Yeah, it wouldn't be good. Any limited citizenship that precludes chain migration will be enhanced to full citizenship later. I agree, Spencer. It's 17 degrees now. Oh my gosh, Jadar, that's terrible. Prosecutors need to unite sane citizens. Yeah, stop incumbency. Hopefully they can find enough of them. Depends on the circumstances. Yeah, I think... I just think with Obama, he's going to be able to assert executive privilege. Be very difficult very difficult. But you never know. And with Hillary, uh, I would like to say yes. Will never happen. Would be bad for the country, Chicago Pop said. Would love some Cali weather. It's about 15 degrees in NYC. It's been about in the 80s here in the last couple of days, millennial. So we need to pray for POTUS in these difficult times. Lee, absolutely. Mickey Mouse could get some snow there. Oh, snow here in Orlando. Wow, Cully. So Obama can't be arrested? No. Doesn't mean they can't be arrested, Susie. I'm just saying that the likelihood of going after a president and making something stick, depending upon what it is, it's very difficult. They can assert executive privilege on just about everything. And then what are you going to do? And with Hillary, she's a little bit less out there. She's more out there in the wind than he is. It won't happen. What don't green hard carriers get? I don't know. I don't know if I understood that. I would give anything to see Obama and Hillary charged and found guilty. I know, Cartman, a lot of people would. But, you have people like Comey that they're so arrogant that they really feel that they can't be touched. They do protect each other, Donna. They really do. I mean, Comey's tweet, I wrote about that at SusanKnowles.com. He is so arrogant. We can't get anyone arrested, let alone Obama and Hillary, Ida Ryan said. I'm really praying for some kind of indictment or charge with Hillary and against Uma, Monique said. How sad there's no justice in America. Well, sometimes there's justice. I'd give up my tax return to see Hillary in jail, Brandon said. Yeah, I would love to see Hillary and Obama have to defend themselves against what they've done. Are green card holders limited as far as benefits? Well, they can't vote. Certain rights, they don't have the same rights as citizens. That's the big thing. Although, probably they do vote, like in California. There's God's justice, yep. Is it because Obama is black? I don't think so. It's because Obama was a president. That's what I said. Untouchables has a different meaning since LNS. Exactly, stop. Almost don't care if they are in prison just for our country to see them found guilty. The Untouchables have, it's so fast. I read Comey's smug tweet, yes. Want a fair justice system. Yeah, it has to do with being the president of the United States and having executive privilege. Doesn't depend on what race you are. Oh, we don't allow racism in here, John. Can they get licensed or be deported? In California, they can get a license. Deported if they're criminal illegal, supposedly. The climate hoax will be fully exposed within the next couple of years. Grand solar minimum. I hope so. I'm sick and tired of hearing about climate change. There was an article that came out yesterday saying if we don't get back on that the Paris climate change agreement, the United States is going to become a desert. And you know what I heard? I heard this from a pastor in Hawaii, and that is that Israel can make water out of air. Get that again, water out of air. Israel is amazing in the technology that they have. They are so far ahead of the rest of us. Crops are already failing. And are they failing because of climate change or something else? Climate change, another deception. Yes, it's another way to control us. That's it. Climate change is a globalist Ponzi scheme created by the New World Order. Yes, I agree with that. Quit tampering with what God has created. God knows why he put President Trump. If it was anyone else, they would not survive the anointing, and the blood of Jesus is all over him and his administration, Josette said. Climate change too cold and wet. Yeah. Yeah, global warming. Are you guys on the East Coast? How's the global warming working out? Pretty warm out there? Yep, climate change control and money grab, right, Amanda? There's proof of climate change. Listen to Pastor Hagee's Revelation breakdown from several years back. There's no proof of climate. Well, Yeah, the climate's not really changing. I mean, climate changes all the time. Yeah, quit messing with the climate. And I mean, you see all the time what people call chemtrails back and forth. I mean, literally, they're either up there seeding to try to make it rain or whatever they're trying to do. They're doing something. Because I've never seen so many jets out in my life. In Tennessee, yeah. Cold in Tennessee, right, Teresa? God's justice is the greatest justice of all. People can scurry all they want, but cannot escape God's wrath nor justice. It all happens in God's perfect timing that we have no control over, Monique said. 18 degrees this morning. Oh, in Maryland. Schools had 2-hour delay because it was 0. Whoa, Brandon, in North Carolina. Yep, me too here in North Carolina. Wow. Scientists do the chemtrails in Florida every week. Susie, they do it all the time in California. Of course, climate changes, we aren't the major cause of it. Exactly. Man-made climate change is bull. Yes, Spencer, I agree. 29 degrees here in Austin. That's cold. 22 in Texas, Amanda said. 23 in this portion of Tennessee. Whew, Richard. 10:30 and it's still 0. Wow. Yeah, the weather changes, the climate changes. It's natural. It's a part of nature. The moon was gorgeous last night, Lori said. That was supposed to be a supermoon. Man is always trying to outdo God. That's right, Donna. And that screws everything up. Always has, always will. In the 20s there, Marguerite said. Houston is cold too. Woo. Arrived in Palm Springs last night. Weather is better, sure better than Chicago. Yes, Chicago Pops. Al Gore just wants more money and our money. Chemtrails are a threat to human, animals, and the environment. Where's the protesters on that? Well, Jerry, I think because a lot of people aren't convinced that that's what it is, and nobody is talking about it, like in the government, it's not talking about it at all. So I don't know who we need to go out and do an investigation or what that is. It was -2 in Kentucky last night. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, there's your climate change. Wonder why Julian Assange's cryptic key he dropped leads to... I don't know. Shauna. It is a natural process. Look how old our Earth is. Yes. It changes all the time. It has and it will. And, if people would just leave it alone. Chicago going to be below 0 for a couple more days. Woo! I had some news out of Chicago. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. 3 homicides in Chicago have occurred already. A 51-year-old man was shot in the back while he was driving. 29-year-old man had blunt trauma to the head, and a 34-year-old man was shot in the neck while driving. And then we have, let's see, what else was about Chicago? Residents in Chicago have suffered more carjackings in 2017 than in any other year since at least 2007. New statistics released by the Chicago Police Department have reported that there are 967 carjackings that occurred in 2017. It's a sharp 30% increase over 2016's 682 total. That's a lot of carjackings. The past 3 years have shown a stark upward trend in car thefts after 8 consecutive years of decline since 2007, when 898 jackings were reported. The crime rate bottomed out at roughly 300 reports in 2014. Yes, Chicago has very strict gun laws, Joey. Killings daily in Chicago, yet Rahm Emanuel could care less. I think he's probably glad that happens. It just, for him, it's like, oh, well, If you've been near the wings while riding on a plane, you can see the condensation. Yeah, aircraft are made out of aluminum, small bits. This is why your car insurance keeps going up in Chicago Pops. And that's crazy. Again, let's just put a Band-Aid on the problem rather than getting to the root of the problem. I mean, how crazy is that? Aircraft are made of aluminum. Small bits are in the air anyway. That's true, but how many more bits of aluminum do we need in the air? Who is my neighbor in Chicago? I'm right next door in Indiana, and it got down to -8. That would be Chicago Pops, Monique. Rahm never says anything about crime because he doesn't want to be blamed for it, Robin. He doesn't want the federal government to come in and say, look, Rahm, you've got a problem here. Yes, they did call on the UN in Chicago. Of course. killings daily in Chicago, yet Rahm Emanuel could care less. Oh, yeah. I need a new car. I should take a ride to Chicago. Oh, Lori, you're so funny. Gary, Indiana. Spencer's in Indiana too. Monique, what part of Indiana? How hot is it in the upper atmosphere? What does hot gases do in cold air? You got me, Richard. I don't even. I mean, if you have a hot air in the atmosphere and it's cold, I think there would be condensation. I don't know, freezing. Vapor trails. Oh, there you go. So you think that they're nothing? You don't think they're chemtrails? You think they're just vapor trails? Turns to snow, Lee said. Chemtrails have been admired in declassified documents. Wake up. Had been admired? Admitted. Okay. Richard says no, he doesn't believe in chemtrails. Hey, Nick, good to see you. I've seen those people when they go and they do the videos and they have the snowballs and they light them up and they don't melt if those are real snowballs. UN troops were seen in Chicago by people who live there. Isn't that illegal? Should be, Susie, but who's going to do anything about it? If it is illegal, do you think Rahm Emanuel's going to stop it? Hopefully the mayor will be voted out of office next year. Chicago deserves better. I don't know, Chicago. They keep putting the same people in New York back in, so. Happy New Year, Nick. I'm in Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. 17 degrees here right now. Not too bad, really. Whew. Chemtrails are real, Susie said. Yeah, climate researchers are warning that a large chunk of the globe could become a desert if the goals of the Paris Climate Change Accord are not met. The findings were published Monday in the journal Nature Climate Change, show that more than 25% of the world's population will live in a perpetual state of drought and growing desertification if the Earth's temperature rises by 2 degrees Celsius by 2050. So the report says the solution is to prevent global warming from rising above 1.5 degrees Celsius, which the researchers say would significantly reduce the number of regions of the world affected by the aridification or the drying planet. So in other words, let's stop driving cars. Let's stop using fireplaces. Let's stop doing anything. Do you think that people flying the planes would know they are spraying? Not necessarily. I mean, there are people that deliver things in trucks. They don't know what they're driving around in the trucks sometimes. What's wrong with people who keep voting these socialist mayors and governors? Well, Susie, because they've been trained that is Yahweh is in control, Joey. They've been trained to believe that that's what they should do, is depend on the government. Yes, I'll use my fairy wings and fly. There you go, Jodar. Good point. I wonder how much the lefties paid for that report. Exactly, Spencer. Rahm is a terrible mayor, yet the people keep electing him. I don't understand what does he have over them. Yep, who knows? He has an ability to convince them that he's the government, he knows best for them, and he's taking care of them, even when he's not. Let's see. Some other things. Baltimore. A surge of homicides in the starkly divided city resulted in 343 killings in 2017, bringing the annual homicide rate to its highest ever, roughly 56 killings per 100,000 people. Now, listen to the reason. I know, Joy. It's just, I mean, Baltimore and Chicago sound one and the same. What did I get for Christmas? I got things that I needed. I go for practical stuff. Only ones they're taking care of is their wallets. Yes. So Baltimore is saying some attribute the increase to more illegal guns, the fallout of the opioid epidemic, or systemic failures like unequal justice and a scarcity of decent opportunities for many citizens. Others blame the police, accusing them of taking a hands-off approach to fighting crime, since 6 officers were charged in connection with the 2015 death of Freddie Gray. So in other words, You're a Trump adept. I don't know what that is. Baltimore first per capita. Baltimore is like Chicago and all blue states. Yes. And Chicago maybe should ask themselves, maybe because it's run by Democrats, that's why they're in such bad problems there. Baltimore is probably a sanctuary city. Baltimore has a higher murder rate than Honduras, Spencer said. And of course, Baltimore will never admit that they have that problem. It's always because it's somebody else. Okay, Robin, may he get well quickly. Have you seen one? Oh, see you at 1. Oh, perfect. Marlene, I had to read that again. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing God's views on political news in about an hour. If you want to come see that live and comment and ask questions, just go to Facebook under God's views on political news. Be right there on the page, and it'll start at exactly 1 o'clock. Thank you, guys. God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Oh, every time I go to stop Periscope, this is what happens. I get 5 million things happening. There we go. All right, everybody on YouTube, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Be well. Take